Now, one of the more popular NEBOSH questions is a question about culture. Let me give you an example of what that might look like here. It says, what appear to be the positive indicators of health and safety culture at the warehouse? And we should note that here in the question, it says the word positive. So let's just put that in italics, because that's what NEBOSH would do. What appear to be the positive indicators? Now let's just read it very, very carefully just to make sure, because that's the first thing you've got to do on any NEBOSH question when you're answering, whether it's NG1 or IG1. Read the question super carefully. Whether you pass or fail the exam will depend on your ability to read the question carefully. Simple as that. If you don't read the question carefully, you will fail. What appear to be, so what appear, what looks like, Okay, so it's not like certain. It's not asking what definitely are. It's not asking you to be certain. It's just saying, right, just what looks like. So it gives you a little bit of flexibility there. What looks like the positive indicator, so good indicators, good signs of health and safety culture. Because you may have a mixture. There may be bad ones, there may be good ones, right? So it's asking you to identify, show that you understand what the good looks like. Because recognizing the good is actually a lot harder than recognizing the bad, funnily enough. At the warehouse. And it says your answer must be based on the scenario only. So we aren't going to look at the scenario. But the first thing I always do, just in case you haven't studied the course properly, or in case your mind, your brain has gone blank, it's good practice to go check out the course materials. What are the indicators of a culture? What are the positive indicators of a culture? So let's go to the course materials. Here we've got the Compassa course materials for the International General Certificate or the National General Certificate. If you want to buy a copy of these, you can do. The description's in the link below. If you're watching this and you're a NEBOSH student, did you know that you have a ton of resources on the Compassa website which you can use? Many of them are very, very cheap. You've got our YouTube section here, loads of free advice here. But if you want some study books, if you want exam technique documents, exam technique guides, instructions on how to do your NG2 or IG2 practical project, you can download those at some very, very reasonable prices from our website. And if you wanted hands-on tutor support with full access to all of our tutorials, guides, me and my colleagues at the tips of your fingers, consider signing up for our NEBOSH Rescue package. You'll get access to our full course and tutor support at a heavily discounted rate. And, well, frankly, you'll struggle to find pass rates that are as consistently high anywhere else. Let's get back to the advice. But if we go down here, let's go to culture, which is element 3. There we are. Indicators of a health and safety culture, negative indicators, positive indicators. Let's just click on that. Boom. Positive indicators. So, like, we've got some examples. There are loads of examples. Now, to be clear, those examples are not necessarily the answer to the question. They might be the answer to the question, but because the scenario is unique, then chances are there might be some things in the scenario which are not in the course materials. And that's fine, that's normal. The course materials kind of give you some theory, they give you some examples, but then you have to understand that and you have to be able to recognize it in the scenario. So, what have we got in here? We've got things like incidents are low or they're going down, people are reporting incidents, sickness absence low, people are following rules, people are satisfied, they take pride in doing things in a safe way, people feel safe reporting issues, there's no blame culture, complaints are acted on, things are investigated, staff turnover low, equipment's in good condition, leaders are visible, there's adequate resources for safety, systems are up and running, established, systems are followed, no enforcement action, and so on and so on and so on. There's loads. Let's take a look at the scenario and see what we can spot. So I'm going to highlight with a yellow highlighter all the positive stuff that I can see. So here we've got a dedicated shift manager overseeing each period. So that's a good sign. We've got dedicated supervision for each shift. Monday morning, mid-June, the warehouse received a large delivery of boxed products requiring offloading, storage and a racking system. The delivery was handled by 2 forklift operators who had both recently completed refresher training. The unloading was complete without incident. All staff involved wore the required PPE. So it's good that PPE is provided and PPE is worn. There are kind of 2 points in there. Eye protection was also worn. Fantastic. Each shift begins with a short 10-minute safety briefing conducted by the shift manager. Fantastic. That's a good sign of a culture. Lots of communication, shift manager doing a safety briefing at the start of every shift. Who uses it to highlight recent near misses. Wow, okay, it's like, so they're sharing information on near misses. Brilliant. And also that means that the near misses are being reported and they're being recorded. Reporting and recording, not quite the same thing. So workers are reporting the near misses and they're probably getting written down. And they're reinforcing one safety message per day. During the briefing on this occasion, a worker mentioned that a new temporary worker had almost walked into a moving pallet truck the previous day. Wow, okay. That worker feels safe raising the issue at the meeting. And it might be, let's read this next bit. The shift manager made a note of the concern and later submitted a near miss report through the company's digital reporting system. So let's just think about that. This worker had failed to report the near miss correctly. Yeah, that worker should have filled in the near miss report, but they didn't. And now they're at a briefing. This worker now feels safe enough to say, hey, boss, yesterday there was this thing that happened. Yeah, I know I should probably have reported that. I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was a near miss at the time. But now that you've talked about this, then that's reminded me, yeah, this happened yesterday. The worker feels safe enough to express that in public in front of their manager. I mean, that's a really good sign of a culture. The shift manager then makes a note of the concern and submits the near miss report, and then has a follow-up conversation with the new worker. So a concern is raised, the concern is logged by the manager then acts on the concern by having a conversation, and an additional floor worker was assigned to assist new starters during the first week. So they had a chat with the new worker, but they didn't just blame the new worker and put it all on them. They actually put in an extra control measure to ensure that doesn't happen again. So the company is really taking responsibility for that near miss there, because they said it's not just you, but we should add in this extra procedure too. During the morning, the warehouse floor supervisor conducted an informal walkthrough inspection. An informal walkthrough. Informal. Like, it's not even a proper one. It's not like they're forced to do it. It's not like there's a diary and they have to do it every Monday morning. No, it's just like, no, I'm interested. I'm interested, and informally I'm going to walk through the area just because I'm interested in what's going on, because I want to make sure it's all well run and safe. And they ask one team to move a pallet that's encroaching in a walkway. So we can go through that. I mean, there's loads of stuff here that we can flag. Look at what I've just highlighted. These types of questions are very, very easy. You're simply just going through the scenario, just going, well, that's positive, and that's positive, and that's positive. It's all a good sign, yeah? It's all a good sign. It's well worth, though, just pausing for a moment, just well worth remembering, what is culture? What is a culture? Culture is about values, individual values, group values, patterns of behavior, competencies, attitudes, and perceptions. So it's like, what are the signs that people value safety, that the group values safety? What behaviors can you see? Positive behaviors that show that they care. How can you tell that they have a good attitude, that they have a positive perception of safety, that they perceive risk in a very realistic way? So you're just looking for those things. Now let's try and write some of this out as an answer. Hey, sorry to interrupt the video. I hope you're finding this useful. If you want more information, we've got loads of free information on our YouTube channel. If you go into our channel playlists, you'll find a whole playlist called the 12 Steps to Smashing Your NG1, IG1, NEBOSH exam. And it'll go through the 12-step process that our students follow to get some of the highest pass rates in the NEBOSH e-learning industry. If you would like even more help, then you can head over to our website, compassa.co.uk, click on NEBOSH Exam Help, and you'll also find study books that you can download for both the national and international general certificates. And without further ado, let's get back into it. And so we'll go here. It's a 10-mark question. I think we could easily write down something like 15 points if we wanted to. But we could say each shift has a dedicated shift manager showing the company cares about supervision and investing resource into safety. Great. What else have we got? We've got well, if I've forgotten where we are, I just go back to this and I go, okay, we've got the refresher training. Let's talk about that next. I'll just do it in order. That way I don't forget anything. The 2 forklift operatives have had recent forklift training, refresher training, which is a significant investment and shows they value safety and shows the company values safety. And let's carry on. We'll say all staff involved wore the required PPE, eye protection was off the wall. Great. So PPE is provided. PPE is provided by the company, showing they are willing to invest resources. Even better, the workers are willing to wear it, and PPE compliance is very good. This shows the workers care about safety too. And what do we say next? We'll say the 10-minute safety briefing every shift. Okay. Each shift begins with a 10-minute safety briefing led by the shift manager. This is a huge investment of time. They discuss recent near misses and issue a reminder on safety. Right, there's more to be said in there, isn't there? I said the fact that they even discuss the near misses is a positive because that means they're being reported and logged. The fact the near misses are discussed is proof near miss reporting is high. People are reporting these and they are being logged, being recorded in a formal electronic system, and the information is shared amongst all shift workers. That's a real positive. What else can we say? A worker mentioned, so the worker feels safe. Workers feel safe reporting near misses and raising concerns in meetings, even when they have failed to formally report it properly. Managers act promptly on concerns, reporting these electronically and then taking action, like speaking with the new worker. And then I'm going to talk about that blame thing. This will be my last answer for this, just because I want to save you a bit of time. You don't need to see the full 15 points I would write, but this gives you a great idea. I'm going to talk about that blame culture thing, where they didn't just blame the new worker. I'll say managers do not just blame workers for near misses. After speaking with the new worker, the shift manager implemented a new procedure of floor walkers to accompany new agency workers in their first week. This shows they take responsibility for safety. Okay, and I would carry on just like that, really, just making one paragraph for every positive thing that you see, adding a little bit of extra explanation on it. And that should guarantee you the marks. Don't stop at 8 if it's a 10-mark question, you know, so you stop at 12, 13, 14. Sometimes you see this type of question with 20, 25 marks. It's a gift, absolute gift, because they're so easy to answer. If you can get the full 25 marks on a 25-mark question, you are more than halfway to passing the exam on one question. All you need is an extra 20 marks from all of the other questions, and you've passed. That's absolute doddle, that question. If you have any questions of your own, please drop them in the comments below and let me know how you get on with your exam.